Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Myself is Prakash and you're watching Fundamentals of Python. In today's video, we are going to take a look at loops. So there are two types of loops in Python. One is for loop, second is while loop. If I compare this two with other programming languages such as Java, C++, we have three sort of loop. While loop, do while, and of course for loop is there. But in Python, we just have while loop and for loop. Okay, so in today's video we are going to discuss about for loop. So we have four different ways of writing for loop in Python, and as you can see, this is the first way, uh, this is the second way, this is the third way. uh, Actually, I you can just skip this. This is the third way, and this is the fourth way in which you can write a for loop. There are few others as well, but these are the major ones. All right. Okay. So let's begin with the first one. So this for loop says for I in L. L is what? L is equal to this list. So for I in L, that means for I in this L, I'm saying pass. I'm not doing anything. So the moment I say for I in L, and colon, within this colon I have given four indentation. So the moment I do this, I can write some instructions. I can play around with I can say print I. So what that means is like L is an iterable. Since it's a list, that means it has indexes. That means it's an iterable. Okay. So L is an iterable. That means for I in L means I is going to traverse throughout this list, and it is going to start from zeroth index, that is 12, and moving on to first index, that is first, and so on and so forth, and ending towards the last index, which is a list. So there are total of four indexes starting from 0 to 3. So 0 is 12, 1 is 45, 2 is hello, and in third index there's a list within the list. So let's see what we get when we try to run this bit of program. Let me comment it out, control and question mark, and let's run. Let me save it. So we are getting one after another, value of one after another, value within the list one after another. First 12, then 45, then hello, then list. So what is going on? As I said, I is traversing throughout this. The moment I write this for, that means for I in L, that means for I has to traverse throughout this iterable one after another, and every time it uh, picks a picks an element within the iterable, that element we are trying to print. We can also print the i's index. So what index it is? So for that we have seen the inbuilt function index. So L, so it's a method, index is a method. L dot, there it is, index of I. Yes. See, one by one it will iterate through the index of I. You get the results of indexes of I. So the result is going to be 0, first index. I will traverse throughout the list. That means it will traverse towards 12. And that means we are going to print every time it changes the index. This instruction is going to be executed. This is what for loop means. All right. So it went on to 12. So I is at 12. So now we have this instruction print L dot index of I. So in within L, I want to find the index of I. I is at 12. So what is the index of 12 in L? That is what I am interested in, and that is what is going to be printed here. So let's see. So first, in it went on to 12. Its index is 0, so it printed the 0. Second, it went on to 45, so the 45 was entered here, and then this method was executed, and within L, so its index it found out to be 1, which is 1, and it printed 1, and then hello, which index is 2, and then the list, its index is 3. So we can further make it even more complicated. We have the indexes here, so we can, what we can say is L of L of, if we do this again, we are going to get the number, the values, because I'm saying L of index, I'm subscripting the index, the L of 0. This value is equal to, first it is equal to 0, then it is equal to 1, then it is equal to 2, and then it is equal to 3. So L of 0 will be printed first, then L of 1 will be printed first. So L of 0 is 12, L of 1 will be 45, L of 2 will be hello, and L of 3 will be this list. See, we got these whatever we predicted. So this is a lot of, you can play around with this and with the for loop, but the key point here is like, the moment I write a for loop, I need to have at least a variable here. This is a syntax to write a for loop. First of all, let's look at the syntax of the for loop. I need to have a for keyword, then comes the variable name. I can name it ij or k or l, but accordingly I'll have to make the changes here as well. All right, so if I'm taking j, I'll have to take a j here as well. So let's back to I. All right, so this is a variable, and l has to be an iterable, or we'll see uh, what else we can have in upcoming next for loops. Okay, but in this fashion, whenever we write with it without range, without using the range function, and whenever we write right away the iterable, this is the way to write for I in L has to be an iterable. Now I will traverse throughout this L, and it will pick the value, the first value, that is 12 in this case, and we can do the any manipulation in this indented block and see the results. Okay, let's see one more example. I'm going to use if else and little bit of typing, a little bit of type thing. Okay, so if type of I, we have seen if else condition in last lecture. So if I is equal, if type of I is equal to int, I'm saying print I, and then comes the else condition. For anything other than this, if it's not an int, I'm going to say else print. I'm going to take help of formatted string. Remember, we have this syntax for formatted string. We looked at it in first lecture. So curly braces, and within curly braces, we can plug in the any variable. So the value of the variable will be uh, grabbed here and will be displayed here. And then I'm going to say is not uh, it's not an integer. Let's run this bit of program and see what we are getting. So it went on to see. So we are getting 12 and 45, and then hello is not an integer. We know that this is a list is not an integer. Again, we know that since it's a list. If I hover over this value, I guess I can get okay. Anyways, so this is a list we know for sure, and this is a string we know for sure. Hence, for these two values, it printed not an integer, not an integer. But for these two values, it printed its value itself, because we the instruction itself says print I. If type of I is int is equal to int, then print I. We can also print the index of I, we have seen in the previous example. And talking about else, this else condition says there's no condition. That means any condition other than this. Any condition other than this. If it's not an int, do this. All right, do this. So i's value will be plugged in here, and is not an integer will be printed as it is. Hope you guys understood this. Let's move on to next example, which is of a range, which is using a range function. So let me uncomment this part and comment it out, this part, and comment this. So here we are using a number. There's no iterable, as you can see. We are using a range function. So range function takes the three parameters. One is the value of the starting index. We should put here at 0. This is going to be the starting of the 100. It will start from 100. It will start from 0, and it will um, take value till 99, one less than 100 since it's 100, and the step is going to be 1. So let's see the results. Let me make it shorter so that we can see. Let's make it 5. It will be easier to see. So let's say print I now. So you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It started from 0 and ended till the last one before the 5. It didn't include the 5. And every time it incremented by 1. We can play around these values. If I say 4, so on, if I say 3, so it will start from 3 and went on to 4, and that's it. And step is again going to be 1. So 3 and 4 will be printed. 3 and 4. uh, this one here is just an step. It tells you the number of uh, steps it has to take. For example, if I type 6 here and take step 2, then for every 2 interval, it will print something, value actually. You can see it will start from 0 and then 2 and then 4, and that's it. 6 won't be printed. So 0, 2, 4 at an interval of 2, 2, 2, it is printing. All right. So the range function has, it can take three parameters. It can take three parameters. The first one is the starting value. The second one is the ending value, not exactly the ending value, but one before the ending value. And third one is the step. A little variation in the above for loop is this one, where we don't give all the three parameters. We just give one parameter, and that is by default considered as equivalent to the second parameter, that is the last number. So hence it will start, but if by default in this case step will be taken as 1 and initial number will be taken as 0, and this is the only number it will be taken by user. If I enter 100, it will go till 99. If I take 9, it will, if I take 10, it will go till 9. So let's check it out. Let me make it smaller so that we can see the result in one screen. Oh my god, there's a pass written here. I have to write print of I, and as you can see, it started from 0 and went on to 9. If I make it 100, it will go on to 99 and print I. The last one is this one. Sometimes this one comes handy. The last one, it is a manipulation of the different version of the first one. uh, Sorry, it is again the manipulation of this above the third one. This was the first one, now this is the second, this is the third, now this is the fourth one. Fourth one is a manipulation of this of the third one. So here we are saying for I in range of length of L. So here instead of saying 10, instead of giving any integer, I am giving length of L. What is length of L? So length of L is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not 3. Index is 3. The last and final index is 3. But the number of elements are 4. Therefore, the length of this list is going to be 4. Okay, so for the length of, so for 4, let's print I. Imagine there's a number written here 4, because we know that length function gives you the length of the iterable. So let's print R. It will work similar to such as, like, for example, there's a 4 we have given input as a parameter in range function, and we are trying to print I. So it will start from 0 and go on to 3. Let's try to see the results. It started from 0 and went on to 3. Okay. Now how about I try to print the values of the list? Uh, because it's, we know that it's taking from 0. 0 is the index, then the first index, then the second. All the indexes are being printed. Since we have the indexes in our hand, we can also print the values just by saying L of I. This is, we are subscripting the I into L. And there you go, you have the values of the list. So that's it for today's videos, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it and understood every bit of it. If not, please don't hesitate to ask any question in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.